In realms long forgotten, there are tales of the Forest Kingdom, a place of honour and chivalry, known to some as the Land of the Purple Dragon, but known to all as Cormyr.
Hi, I'm Tilda, and I'm playing Hiram, a half-orc paladin.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Catcher Donahue, human bard.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Badger, a forest gnome monk.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Balthazar, a Warforged Cloak of Azuth.
Hi, my name is Al, and I'm playing Slate, a changeling druid.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm playing Zombo, who is a halfling rogue/warlock.
And my name is Dan. I shall be the dungeon master on this adventure. Hello, everybody! Hello! It is me, DM Dan, and it is you, the explorers of elsewhere.
Hello, DM
Hello.
Dan.
Hey, DM Dan.
How are you all doing?
It is you, DM Dan.
Doing good.
We're good. All
Wonderful.
very good.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you for coming back. I appreciate your insistence to make me create more D&D sessions for you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
So, who would like to jump into session 39? Because there was a bit of a ruckus in session 38.
Yeah,
And-
you left me behind. You did.
Yeah.
I think that was
You
intentional,
fell?
Carl.
You guys.
You didn't get the message, and you came back tonight. So
Oh,
now we have a pickle.
oh that hurts me in more ways than you know, Anton.
Oh wait, no, come on, we'll fetch you. We'll go get you.
Perhaps we accidentally sent that message to Matt, which is why he's not here tonight.
There's a mix-up.
I'll change something. I'll figure it out. So, with that in mind, who would like to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't know now. I'm not welcome.
It's all right, Carl.
You're
You
gonna be
can play
playing Zombo.
Zombo.
Yeah. We've got a pity seat for you. Time and time again, Cormyr has turned to a band of adventurers to deliver her from danger and ruin. The Ganrahast incident, the fall of House Silversword, the Nautilid of the Dragonmere Sea. Time and time again, these adventurers hailing from Warhounds Limited have stepped up and succeeded where others felt they would surely fail. Not even the Crown has managed to stop the advance of the Warhounds in protecting Cormyr as they see fit. As thus, against all odds, Zinaleth, the hunter who hates, is dead. Cast down onto the deck of her own flagship, the Adlashar, in one-on-one combat with Hiram Kath Silversword, her plans to wipe out the capital of Suzail from the map has almost fully been stopped if it were not for one slight hiccup. Time and time again, shadowy agents have moved against Cormyr. As a rift to the Shadowfell tears the very sky open, Zinaleth's death may only be an introduction to the end.
Dun dun dun.
Dear.
And so, we find 4 of the 5 Warhounds. As you all grab onto whatever you can, as the Adlashar is all but vertical, soaring upwards into the sky towards a large shadowy rift in the sky. Around you, as you look around, and you can see the cries and panic looks from Githyanki forces. You can see riders and dragons. You can see attack vessels and raiders as they're all being sucked up into this rift like it were a black hole. You watch as a rider is parted from its dragon as the dragon crashes into a salt craft, sending it veering off before it's pulled back in and up. And you watch as the city below you gets smaller and smaller. There is then a wet, slimy feeling that envelops you from top to bottom, and suddenly the world seems darker. You're now falling away from a giant rift in the black sky overhead. The rift showing a day-lit city of Suzail getting smaller and smaller still, and around you can see Githyanki and dragons and ships kind of careening off in various directions, completely devoid of any kind of navigational sense of direction. Hiram, you Raedra and are kind of holding onto the front of the command deck as you see this, and the deck itself is ablaze. You can hear Emily like shouting from the side as she grabs onto something, and Hiram, as you kind of look up, the ship you're on, the Adlashar, jolts, and you see Emily drop and plummet through the flames of the command center. You manage to reach out and grab her as you hold on to the front of the command deck, looking down at what appears to be this dark reflection of the capital of Cormyr. Meanwhile, back in Cormyr, Katya, you look up as you see this Githyanki fleet all but sucked into this void. As you look around, you can see people kind of staggering out and kind of looking to the skies as this tear threatens to get bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where it looks like there is a mirror in the sky, like a black mirror in the sky. And as you look up, you hear a voice slowly say out next to you, "By the gods." And you turn to look at Magnus as his face goes white. As the colour drains from his face, and he stands looking at this portal, open-mouthed. In the Adlashar, Balthazar, Slate, and Zumbo, you're being thrown around. You're crashing towards Slate. You, in your rocky form, you can't help but kind of slide towards the front of the ship as the ship kind of tears out of this portal and is now careening to the ground like a stray dart.
That's good.
And Balthazar, you managed to sort of like slide along, and you find yourself all but standing on the edge of the magic circle that you've created around this cannon. And from where you are, like the opening at the front of the ship, you can see the ground beginning to fly up towards you. And you kind of peer at the ground, you peer at the cannon, you wonder what's going to happen.
Oh no, oh no, oh no, bad.
Zumbo is kind of holding on to a shattered bit of wall, and he's just he's holding on to the grates and some of these dragon pens. And Katya, you can just about see this monolithic vessel that you were on mere moments ago, getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and everyone on the ship, please give me a Constitution save.
Oh dear. 40.
Balthazar rolls a 14.
If I cannot take more damage, that'd be great.
Zumbo rolls an 8.
21.
Hiram 21. Emily
1 sec.
will roll and get +3 for being next to you. So she also rolls a 17 with your bonus. And next to you, Hiram. There she is.
Dimdan,
Yes.
in the lapses of time we've had, would I have been able to munch down on some good berries?
You were maybe. Things have been quite busy though, arguably.
Yeah, but I've got my spell going on, and I'm like munching on like popcorn.
Whoa.
Actually, Dan.
Yes.
Hello, question.
Yeah.
Did I manage to pick up the silver sword that the hunter left behind?
What her?
I mean, I
Her
gave
blade.
Open back to Raedra. I kind of need a sword.
Well, Rage, Oberyn is still in your hand.
Oh,
Yeah, so you've got Emily in one hand and Oberyn in the other. Rager is currently just holding onto the front of the command deck as best she can. And Zinaleth's sword is halfway embedded through her, pinning her to the ground like a tent peg. But with your rolls, as the Adler Shah crashes into what appears to be the northwestern district of Suzail, air quotes. And Zumbo, Balthazar, Balthazar and Slate, actually, you watch as the ground comes up and up and up. Slate, you're able to kind of bring your arms up to deflect as much of the impact as you can. Balthazar, you find yourself sprawled across the back of the cannon as this ship hits the ground and all but kind of grinds a trench through the ground, smashing through ruined buildings. There's masonry and rubble flying in all directions as the ship starts cutting a gouge through the floor. And Balthazar, with your 14 Constitution, you manage to keep the magic circle going, despite the intense kind of thrumming and throbbing from the cannon. Hiram and Raedra and Emily, you watch as the ship snaps in two, and the two halves begin kind of branching apart and kind of tipping over, and the three of you find yourselves thrown from the vessel to the streets below.
But we did defeat Count Dooku, right? So all is good.
Oh, good.
Any landing you walk away from is a good one. But
Right.
imagine a catcher at this moment is obviously seeing this happening upside down. She sort of touches her head. It's like, everyone, what the hell's happening? Are you okay? Speak to me.
The four of you in the Shadowfell, the five of you including Raedra, you hear Katya's voice begin to kind of pierce into your head just as you're about to hit the ground, but it sounds like she's distant and underwater. What do you do?
Try and respond. But have we crashed? Have we crashed, or are we crashing?
You're in the moments of crashing as Katya's message comes through.
Buttswood's got no, not good.
Okay, so Katya, you hear Balthazar shout, no, and then the line effectively goes dead.
Oh god.
And you just about see the shape of the Adler Shah splitting in two and kind of fracturing across the city streets. The five of you, including Raedra, you begin to come to Hiram, Emily, Raedra, you've been thrown from the ship. Balthazar, Slate, and Zumbo, you're still kind of tangled up in the wreckage. And Balthazar, you kind of come to, and you can see that the cannon is about to, the runes are beginning to burn out, and your magic circle is about to pass out. Whereas Zumbo only rolled a Constitution save of 8, Zumbo has passed out. He is unconscious. And
pick him up.
so Slate, you grab Zumbo, and Balthazar, you take one look at this cannon and realize it's going to blow.
It's gonna blow. I'll tell everyone in the group chat. Leave the wreck. It's gonna blow. And I start legging.
It wouldn't work anymore because I'm the anchor point.
As you as you kind of think that, Balthazar, everyone in Slate, Raedra, Hiram, you all hear this kind of high pitched hissing fizz in your head that sounds almost like static. Katya, you hear Balthazar's voice in a distant underwater. It sounds distant and underwater, and it sounds like he's saying, "It's gonna blow."
Balthazar will start legging it.
Okay.
Is
yeah.
Can I ask
Yes.
with Earthglide?
Yeah.
Can you also bring other people with you, or is that just going to hurt them?
Let's have a quick look. I believe if you Earthglide, you just leave Zumbo on the ground, but you could. Hang on, let's have a...
Just one hand out the ground, just sliding along.
Yeah.
Wild shapes.
I'm doing that.
Take several times to figure it out. You slam into the floor a couple of times. You see him like, ugh.
Burrow through non-magical unworked earth and stone. Yeah, so you'd have to effectively leave an arm up, kind of carrying Zumbo along. But between you, kind of smashing your way through, like with your bulk, smashing your way out of the wreckage and kind of hooning it. Hiram, Emily, Raedra, like as you stand up, you peer out and you can see two large shapes kind of emerge from the wreckage. Like you see this rock elemental burst out of the side of the ship and begin like kind of running towards you. And Hiram, as you assume, you hope it's Slate, and you recognise Balthazar, and this rock monster is carrying Zumbo in one hand. You feel the air in your lungs kind of get sucked out of your chest, and as do all of you. And it sounds like it's almost as if sound is being absorbed into this cannon. There's the briefest moment of silence, and then there is a blinding white light as the cannon detonates, flinging all of you to the ground. The ship is obliterated. As bits of the ship is obliterated, what shrapnel there is left begins morphing and transforming as it flies through the air. Katya, you see this rainbow explosion detonate through the rift. And once again, the line goes dead.
Light will think to themselves as they see that, well, at least we've scared the locals. Now they'll know not to mess with us.
Well,
I think Katya grabs Magnus, and she's like,
Magnus turns to you and, please don't say they were on that ship.
You've got sending. I think you better quickly do a sending then, Magnus, and find out if they weren't on that ship. I can't seem to get them anymore.
He nods, he nods quickly, and we need to find the others, quick. They're somewhere near the Six Candles. We need to go find them. He shouts, and he sort of like he looks panicked and doesn't like. He's just, you're both looking at this kind of glowing crater on the ground in the sky above, and he turns to, we need to find the others. We need to go. We need to go save them.
You get sending. I'll get the others. Meet me there.
He nods and bring them back here. He says, I think I know how to get there.
You better do. I'm relying on you. She says as she runs off.
So,
Yeah, no pressure.
Katya, you run off kind of through the royal palace grounds. You can see that like most of the citizens of Suzail have just kind of like stepped out into the street, and there's kind of cries of panic and as they look at this giant hole in the sky.
Just because I need to do the moment from not Lethal Weapon, Naked Gun. There's nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. Return to your homes. This is perfectly normal.
You can see, like as you say that, like people are looking at you dumbfounded. There are purple dragons that have just like you watch as a purple dragon just stands and takes her helmet off as she just looks up in the sky, and by the gods, it's the end of the world, she says as she looks up.
It's not the end of the world. You just can't think of anything better to do.
So Katya, you make your way back to as you rush off in the Shadowfell. Slate, you're the first. Your form is the first to start twitching and moving as you slowly kind of rise out of the ground, like with Zumbo still kind of held in your hand, like cradled in your arm protectively. It's like as you kind of rise up and look around to look at it, it looks like you are in fact in North eastern Suzail. But it's wrong. As you look around, the ruins are... so the buildings are ruined husks. There is no vegetation. The ground beneath your feet is dead. There is this heavy, thick, pervasive mist that lingers in the air. And to look around, as you kind of look down at yourself and you look at Zumbo, when you look at Zumbo, you're used to seeing his kind of relatively bright blue and yellow blue dragon outfit, but the fabric itself seems to be devoid of saturation and color. And in fact, the only things that seem to be emanating a colored light is this large glowing crater that you find yourselves on the edge on, and this gaping hole in the sky. And as you peer up, yes,
would Slate be able to recognize that was the world rather than the cause of the explosion? I mean, not the cause, the what happened after the explosion.
So yeah, you've been here before. You kind of look around and realize it's the same cold, lonely feel that you experienced when you were on the ship, saving the Suzailan citizens, and then the world seemed devoid of life and color. As you kind of look around, you've kind of got this high-pitched whining, like tinnitus type thing in your head from all the loud explosions and crashes you've just experienced. You look around and you see the other Warhounds with you, and Raedra. You all begin to stir and push yourselves to your feet. And as you all pull yourselves to your feet, it's like your eyes are becoming adjusted to the gloom. And like your ears, your senses are becoming more finely tuned, and that kind of shouting and screaming, you realize you can see a number of like Githyanki vessels and dragon riders and whatnot in the sky, and they're trying to right themselves. And through the gloom, like through clouds, you see large tentacles piercing the clouds and wrapping around these Githyanki vessels, snatching dragons out of the sky and crushing them in the air. And you watch as fleets like nautilids pierce the clouds, and you see a crack of lightning. And in that momentary flash of light, you see silhouettes of humanoids floating through the skies, and there's occasional, you just about hear sounds of... You can see vibrations rippling through the air, dragons kind of flailing, Githyanki falling, and then being snagged by these giant floating conch shell type shaped ships. And you recognize that these floating silhouettes are mind flayers. And as you all stand, you watch as the scattered and confused Githyanki forces are pounced upon by waiting mind flayer forces.
Oh dear.
They got what they wanted. Just not the way they wanted it.
Yeah. Yes, it would seem so. Raedra grunts and is everyone all right? She says. She
Are we all together, Dan? Where are we?
So you're all kind of gathered together. You're
The street.
So effectively, yeah, you're on the edge of the Royal Park in the kind of northeastern corner of the city, and kind of looking around, you kind of think to yourself, oh, like Balthazar, Hiram, as you turn and look, you think to yourself that, like, you kind of recognize whereabouts in the city you are. You realize that this is effectively, the same layout as Suzail. But
and is there like a flaming wreck behind us, basically, in the park?
There is a large glowing, like rainbow-hued glowing crater with bits of the Adler poking out of it, burning, freezing, sparking with lightning simultaneously.
Yeah, I think we're okay. Where are we?
Rager looks to you all and I was kind of hoping you could tell me, she says.
Can I make what would it be? Arcana, history, perception, nature? Nature.
By all means, yeah. Any you could go with any of the above, actually.
I'll go with history, normal. What is that? 7.
7.
Yeah, we're in Suzail. Looks a bit worse.
Yeah, Balthazar, like, as everyone turns to look at Balthazar, Hiram, you notice that Balthazar's helmet has a giant dent in the side. Like, the helmet's been rent open. It's been dented so hard. And he seems, you haven't seen this before, but Balthazar looks like he's visibly woozy, like swaying from side to side.
I'm just going to pat him on the shoulder and heal him for 10.
Oh, sweet. Oh no, I'll give him some good berries. How about that? We'll do an exchange.
Thanks.
So you get 10 good berries.
Thank you. I was peckish.
Yeah, there you go. Did that? How many hit points I get, or did you bump me
10.
up?
I think you've just given each other 10 each.
Yes.
Yeah, we're good.
Nice.
Okay.
10 for 10. Beautiful.
Perfect.
Perfectly balanced.
As all things should be.
As all things should be. Okay, so you hear Emily looks up to you, Hiram, and what do we do, Hiram? What do we? And you can see that she's looking up at the hole in the sky. How?
Right, we need to find a way. We need to find a way up to help with that.
As you all kind of look up, you nod. What's Slate doing?
So I was thinking that Slate might. I mean, if there's no apparent obvious danger around us, it seems like there's nothing that's looking at us right now and ready to attack us.
So you say that, and obviously, so you've seen that there are all of these kind of shapes in the sky. Like, as you kind of peer around and look, you notice that there are dozens and dozens and scores of mind flayers floating in the sky around the rift, seemingly waiting to catch anything. As you peer up, you notice that there are some silhouettes beginning to kind of float down towards you to investigate the wreckage. So it seems like if you're not away soon, you might have some uninvited guests.
Should we get to the Silver Sword Estate to hide there?
Rager looks around and sort of like looks up with, I don't think we'd make it, Hiram, she says. She looks to you and
Adventurers Guild.
we just need to we need to get off the streets. She's we need to get somewhere with cover, she says as she looks around.
There's a park right there. With trees, I assume?
With trees? They're dead trees. So
never mind.
I feel like we're quite close to the event. Well, what's it called again?
Yeah.
The
Star Wars Society.
Star Wars
Let's go there.
Adventure Society. Yes, there.
Sure.
Probably full of
we'll meet
scary
the
adventurers.
emo equivalent of the Star Wars Adventurers.
Rager kind of looks to you as you suggest a Star Wars Society, and she gives you a quick nod and hurry. That I don't know how. We have to keep a low profile, she says. And she kind of, as she goes off, she stops and kind of looks at Zumbo and then looks to the rest of you. Is he going to be all right? And you just hear Zumbo
I'll just pick him up and sling him on my shoulder.
You hear a thud, a slap as he lands over your shoulder, and you just hear, no, not that hard. You hear him say as you begin kind of running off. Slate, are you staying in Earth Elemental form?
Yeah, this is working great for me. I'm loving it.
Okay, right. Yeah, in which case, as you lot make your way to where you hope the society is, in Suzail.
We're doing in-game meanwhiles now. Ooh, elsewhere is dun dun dun.
Yeah, it's a Magnus and Catch's side quest, Andrew.
Katya, you kind of make your way across the promenade, just to check everyone can see, right?
Yes.
Cool. You make your way across the promenade, you weave your way through the crowds of people, and as you get to the Six Candles, before you get to Six Candles on the street, you see Helenus and Axakas in the streets, and they look to you wide-eyed, and Helenus kind of rushes forward and, thank God you're safe. Where are the others?
See that smoking crater?
Axakas kind of grimaces and, I was really hoping you would not say that.
Well, hopefully they're okay. I imagine they're smart enough to get off it before it explodes, but Magnus should be sending towards them. But I'm hoping they aren't on there. However, I've lost the ability to communicate with them. So I'm hoping they're okay, but the worst is starting to creep into my mind.
The two ladies look up, and Axakas furrows her brow, and that rift, it is unlike, it is not a portal or a teleportation. It is a wound. The very fabric of realities has been split. Who could have done something like this?
I have my own theories, but I don't want to sound too crazy.
As you say that, there's your hair kind of blasts forward, and there's a big waft, as Aaron lands on his hippogriff, looks down to you and says, at a time like this, Miss Donahue, I think crazy is what we need.
Well, remember when we were, at least we were going to save the people on the boat? We entered a bit of a sort of a dimension that looks somewhat little like that. And I connected with something that I can only describe as all mind flayers.
Helenus and Aaron look a bit perturbed. Axakas takes in this kind of deep breath, and I was afraid you would say that.
Like, not just one or two mind flayers. It was like all mind flayers.
These mind flayers, they seem to... Do they have some sort of connection or relationship to that? She says, pointing at the rift.
Predominantly, and she points at the tower, predominantly there. When I made contact with it, I felt like I was being pulled to there.
Aaron looks up as where you're pointing, and I mean, I don't mean to sound mad, but that looks like the royal court, but upside down and in the sky.
Yes, I'm trying to think of a few names for this place. I'm thinking topsy-turvy.
Aaron kind of shakes his head. Have any of you seen Magnus?
Yes, I saw him a second ago. He should be, my God, I hope he is, doing ascending right now.
Sure. Where was he when you left him? We should...
In the park.
He nods, and Aaron looks up at the sky, looks down at his hippogriff, and then, with a pained look on his face, he dismounts, and he kind of ruffles the feathers on the back of the hippogriff's head and says, "You'll forgive me, girl, if I don't feel overly confident flying right now."
Speaking of which, how quickly can you get to Arabelle on that thing?
I mean, that's like a 4-day flight.
Never mind.
Aaron looks at you curiously, and we can, however, find Magnus significantly quicker. Shall we?
Yes.
He nods. As you lead these three back across Suzail, irritatingly, you can hear, as you go through the streets, you can start to hear people kind of beginning to kind of despair and doomsay in the streets, and you can almost hear the sky cracking like glass as the rift gets bigger and bigger, and chunks of it are just kind of flaking away into this dark realm overhead. You make your way back through the noble section. You kind of rendezvous with Magnus where you left him, and he looks at you and, oh, there you are. He says, I've just sent a message to the Warhounds. Who knows if I haven't had a response back yet, but I've only got one idea.
I'm wondering if it's the same idea I have.
Well, you go first, and then I'll judge if my idea is more or less batshit.
Well, if there's any quick ways to Arabelle, we can go through the World Serpent Inn. It connects to all dimensions, correct?
Magnus thinks about it, and you're correct, but it would be a case of getting to Arabelle.
Yes, I'm wondering if the Mage Royal might actually be able to throw out a big spell for a change, instead of just being useless all the bloody time.
Magnus grimaces, and, well, funny you should say that, because that's what I was going to suggest next. That we all know, I know that the Mage Royal was in his tower when he was preparing to banish the Githyanki forces, and evidently something has gone horribly wrong. He says, kind of waving his hand like at the sky.
Yes, I would say definitely something has gone wrong.
He kind of looks at you and Aaron and Axicus and Helenis, and peering up, you notice that, like, you can see Ganrahast's tower in the distance, kind of reaching up into the sky, and you can see what appears to be the dark reflection of Ganrahast's tower reaching down, almost like two needles reaching out towards one another. And Magnus turns back to you, and we should head to the Mage Royal's tower, see what's happened. We might be able to help.
I dread to fear what we may find.
He nods and, right, well, let's not keep him waiting, shall we? And yeah, Magnus kind of gestures for you all to head on.
Let me know the moment they reply.
Magnus has this kind of grim look on his face, but he nods. The rest of the Warhounds in the Shadowfell, you slowly make your way down the promenade, kind of ducking from cover to cover, keeping an eye on the skies overhead. It's difficult because of the low light, and you know there are illithids overhead, but it's difficult to see them. It's difficult to see them with the fog. But you eventually make your way far enough around the promenade, and then you see until you get to what appears to be this large fest hall. And that you know this is the location of the Society of the Stalwart Adventurers, one of the biggest organised mercenary group in Cormyr. As you approach, you realise that this fest hall, much like the other buildings in the area, has fallen into ruin and dilapidation. There appears to be these kind of the rocks, the stonework is crumbling and cracked. The windows have been smashed, the doors off its hinges. There are these kind of vine-like roots which kind of emerge from the ground and branch out, that have kind of worked their way up the sides of the building and kind of crushed the brickwork. But as you approach, you gasp as, staggering around the hall, there just appear to be these individuals, these people. They're just walking around confused.
Do we go in? What's the plan?
Well, Balthazar, as you say that, Raedra is looking at these individuals, and she's got this kind of frown on her face. And you all hear one of them shout out, "What's happening? What's happening?
Big
What's
thing
happening?"
fell out of the sky. Yeah, terrible. Do you mind if we come in?
Balthazar, as you say this to the individual and you approach Hiram, you watch as this person asking what's happening looks like, to look at them, you would judge them to be an adventurer of some sort. And you watch as this figure approaches Balthazar and walks right through him.
Oh.
And phases out the other side. And as this individual phases out, kind of looks in your direction, you notice that in place of eyes, there are just two sullen, empty sockets.
Ooh.
And you notice
Oh, lovely.
the translucent nature of this lost soul. What's happening?
Yeah.
And as a figure turns, you notice that there looks like what would be some sort of grievously mortal impact to the back of the head. And as you look, you recognize that all of these figures kind of milling about the society are souls, dead spirits.
Oh dear.
You-
Don't
Wait.
mind us.
Slate will shrug and walk up to the door as long as it looks like it's... as long as the building doesn't look like it's going to collapse, then I'm okay.
Well, so as you approach, you notice that the roof is all but gone. There's the pit down into the drinking area, and in the circular kind of bar area in the middle of the drinking hall, you can see this the shape of a blue dragonborn with his arms up in the air, sheltered, like covering his head, almost as if frozen in time. The dragonborn then seemingly stands upright, brings its arms down, and then returns to its sheltering position, almost as if he's stuck in a loop.
Like a GIF.
Yeah, and you realise that looking around, these spirits are stuck, living out the final moments of their lives.
Okay, trying to think of
don't-
anything that...
I don't think we can help them at the moment. We should
No,
get some shelter.
definitely get some shelter. What is around us that has got shelter?
I mean, there are areas within the society that would give you some cover from overhead. Like the hall over the roof over the drinks hall is gone, but there are rooms and certain bits like dark corners that you could certainly hide in. Go.
I'll look around to the rest of the team and just kind of point and shrug, this way?
Yeah, just stick to the shadows and then find a room where we can fit in.
Sure. As that happens, Hiram, you hear a voice in your head. It's me, Magnus. I hope you're not dead. I've got Katya. She's safe. Everything looks bad. Got a plan. Head to Ganrahast's tower.
All right.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye. Okay.
Okay, so Magnus just called.
What did he say?
He said things are bad. Kaitra is fine.
We knew that.
And you need to get
That's
to
good.
Ganrahast Tower, which is on the map.
Which is in the palace, right? Is it not in the palace?
So as you kind of, from where you are, like hiding amongst the ruins of the society, you can see this kind of tall wizard's tower emerging from the eastern edge of the royal courts. Balthazar, like you would know immediately kind of where it is geographically, as would you actually, Hiram. Rager too. But as you kind of see it, it's silhouetted. It's tall enough that it's formed silhouettes against the kind of the coloured, the light rift in the sky. And yeah, looking to it, you're not too far away. You just need to cross the promenade, make your way to the tower. Again, it looks a bit kind of decrepit, like it's not being maintained or looked after, unlike the Suzail one. But in actual fact, it's not all that far away at all.
Okay, shall we?
Yes.
Raedra nods as to you, Hiram, as you say that. Like as the rest of the Warhounds start to peel off, she kind of grabs your arm for a moment and sort of like kind of holds you back for a moment. Don't think that I didn't notice, she says. She kind of waggles a finger at the sword.
Oh, yes, sorry. Here you go. Thank you for that. Thank you for the land.
She stops and puts her hand up and... No. You keep it. She tilts her head and...
Forever?
Well, she tilts her... She looks around and like looking into the rubble of the society, she pulls out a big two-handed kind of greatsword, and I always found that a bit too light to swing around. And she looks to you, and if anyone else was going to swing it, it may as well be someone with the blood of an Oberskeer. Lord Silversword, she says. She kind of gives you a look.
Blood of an Oberskeer?
What?
She holds your gaze for a moment, and then she kind of offers her hand out, like asking if it holds her hand out for Orbin.
I give it to her.
Rage is your mom.
As she wraps her hands around the blade, the gem in the hilt, the gem in the crossguard begins glowing, and you see runes kind of ignite up the blade. She lets go and hands it back to you. The runes fade. But as you grasp it, the gem lights up and the runes ignite again. The sword reacts to those of the line of Oberskeer. That is one of the enchantments of the Sword of State. It would seem, Hiram, that your family line is slightly more complicated than you thought.
Ooh.
Wait, is this a Silversword thing? Like, did they marry into the Oberskeer family like way back?
Raedra shakes her head, and unless I've been thoroughly lied to all my life, the Silverswords have only really dabbled with the Roaring Horns and before that, the Emerasks.
Yeah, that's what I knew. You know what? I am gonna shelve this for a later date when we are not in an upside down city and in mortal peril, and then we will think about it. At the moment, thank you for my light up sword. I will use it wisely.
She looks at you for a moment and then nods. I know you will. Cormyr depends on it.
My God, we might be related.
And with that, Raedra gives you a look as you say that.
Raedra is your mommy.
And
Shall I start calling you auntie?
Raedra kind of walks past you, and Hiram, as you stand there with Orbin, the Cormyrian Sword of State in your hand, and you can see the runes kind of dancing up and down the blade. Emily is looking up at you with this mischievous grin.
Don't do that. And then as the runes light up, like, yeah, you shut up.
Emily curtsies to you and then kind of runs off to join the others.
Oh, I hate it. I hate everything. Let's go.
So, as you lot make your way to the tower, as you reach the front doors. Yes, Anton?
Is there no one in the streets? It's just creepy shades.
Just creepy spirits that phase in and out.
Gotcha.
But separately, yeah. So as the four of you kind of make your way to the front door, the entrance of this tower, and you look up and see kind of, you can see there's enough of it missing. There's enough parts of the holes and walls that you can see the internal structure and the kind of the curving the stairway up to the top of this tower. Katya, you arrive at the same place in Suzail with Magnus. Drool, you notice that Drool seems like his tail isn't wagging as much as it normally does, and you see him kind of glancing up at the sky every so often. Evidently, even to him, everything seems a bit bad. Magnus, kind of arriving at the tower, Magnus looks up and, "Oh, I really wasn't expecting to ever have to come into here," he says, and you see him kind of fumbling around in his pockets, in his pouches and satchels, and then, here he is, and he pulls out a signet ring. And Katya, you get a glance at it, and you notice that it's a signet ring worn by the war wizards. And he places the ring against the front door of the tower, and you hear a deep, resonant unlocking sound.
Didn't they confiscate that from you when you were when you left the Warhounds, or?
They did. Spy network. He looks real smug with himself, and the two women with you just like huff and like push past him as they make their way in. And Aaron looks down to you, Katya, and, "Are you all right?"
As all right as I could be. I believe it or not, this is probably not the weirdest thing we've ended up being involved in, but I hope everyone is okay. I mean, I haven't got back to Magnus yet, and I can't seem to communicate with him anymore, so I'm a little bit worried. Less so about the giant hole in the sky, and more about, my friends.
Aaron nods. Well, if there was ever any friends I was okay with being trapped on the other side of a interdimensional rift in the sky, it'd be them.
We can't hear this, but hey!
We'll find them.
Yeah, no, they're useless without me.
He smirks to you and, yeah, that's what I thought. He kind of gestures for you to make your way in. Magnus, Hellenis, Axakas have already stepped inside. As you step in, you see this grand, opulent kind of entry hall. The tower itself is traditionally, cylindrical, and kind of rises up into the sky. But looking around, you see this kind of plush purple carpet with gold filigree. You see big, plushy kind of high-rise chairs, a roaring fireplace, banners draped hanging from the walls. You can see portraits of all the different mage royals. And kind of scanning through and looking at them, you get to the final one, and you can see a picture of Ganrahast next to his father.
Do you ever feel sometimes, everyone, that a little too much money is spent on the war wizards? And I think this carpet would fix an entire district in the Port Quarter.
Aaron nods and well, you know how these wizards are. They need all these material things to keep them happy. He points and oh look, it's Ganrahast. He says, pointing at Ganrahast's father on the portrait to the left. Axacast looks up and Ganrahast's sanctum will likely be on the top floor. I hope you had a hearty breakfast. There's a lot of steps. Helenus chuckles to you, and like the two of them begin making their way up. Katya, as you follow up, as you make your ways up, you get to the seventh rotation, the seventh floor.
Let me know when we get to the mid-teens, because I'm going to throw up.
As you get to the seventh floor, Magnus, who's at the front, puts a hand out to stop you all, and Katya, as you kind of peer past him, you can see two purple-robed figures on the ground. And as Magnus slowly approaches them and kind of turns one over, you can see that the skin of this war wizard has been... It's almost as if this war wizard has just been sucked dry. All the moisture has been absorbed out of him. And Katya, in that moment, you think to yourself that you've seen this happen to someone once before. And your very, very first, you remember watching this happen to a war wizard that threw himself in the way of Queen Raedra when someone tried to assassinate her on Victory Day. All those months ago.
I would like... I don't think I've used my free one today, have I? I'd like to use my free Detect Thoughts. Are we close enough to Ganrahast's room, correct?
So it would seem that Ganrahast is on the next floor or two above.
Okay, so at least
if he's in his sanctum.
30 feet away.
Yeah, you'd hope so.
Okay, so I'm going to use my free Detect Thoughts for the day
Mm-hmm.
to see if I can pick up how many creatures are in the room with Ganrahast.
As you cast that, you can start to hear voices emanating from the four people around you. You hear Magnus kind of talking to himself about who could have done this. You hear Axacas kind of impressed by the power of the damage wrought by the spell, and you kind of murmurs of concern from Helenus and Aaron, but you hear no one else.
We should
Silence.
proceed cautiously.
Magnus nods, and you said that right. And he draws his sword, and you notice that the other three around you kind of draw their weapons and prepare themselves. You carry on up the circular stairway, and you find yourself in front of this large 12-foot tall ornate door covered in kind of gold filigree and designs. There are the designs depict various kind of acts of valor by the various major royals of Cormyr throughout the ages. And Magnus looks to you and puts a hand up against the door and says, "Are you ready?" In the Shadowfell, the Warhounds, you make your way up. The tower is derelict. That's the best way of describing it. There are points where you can see what used to be this kind of what you assume to be a grand entrance hall has now just become a place of rot and dust and decay. There's smashed furniture and torn drapes. Maybe once upon a time there were portraits on the wall, but they seem to have faded and kind of melted away over the ages. As you kind of look around on guard, you make your way up a circular staircase, and you hear Raedra going, "Oh, why so many stairs?" As you head up, you can see, as you get up to about the 7th floor on this tower, Balthazar, you can feel this kind of magical pulsing from overhead. And looking through the cracks in the ceiling above, and kind of emanating out from the top of the tower that you can see through the holes in the side of the tower. There's this kind of sickly pinkish purple glow.
Yeah, because Ganrahast might be the cause of all this. Because he did mention he was going to banish them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we move up.
So as you Raedra kind of looks to you all, and she kind of pats Zumbo on the cheek, and Zumbo's still just a bit out cold from earlier. And as you make your way up the final kind of spiral staircase, you find yourself in front of this large 12-foot door that seems to have seen better days. There are slight holes. There are holes in the wood. There was once a filigree, but it looks like it's kind of rusted and kind of molded away. But you can see beams of light emanating through the cracks in this door. Raedra takes a deep breath as she places a hand on it and looks to you all and says, "Are you ready?"
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
guess so.
Okay. As Raedra pushes the door open, Magnus pushes a door open. And as you find in front of you, you find a final, a narrower room and what appears to be a final spiral staircase. As Warhounds, as you step through and look up, you can see that there's this purple light kind of overhead at the top of this mini staircase. And Magnus and Katya, as you step through, you can hear this kind of this mumbling, this muttering coming from the top of this mini staircase. And as you filter up, Warhounds, who's at the front of the queue?
I am.
Hira?
Yeah, Balti Boy next, I guess.
Yeah. Raedra follows in the middle. Slate in rock form behind.
I guess I'll head up the rear. I guess from my size as well, be a bit frustrating to not be able to see what area you're going to. So.
Cool. Magnus is at the lead. Katya, where are you placing yourself in the marching order?
I imagine it's going to be Magnus first, then Aaron, then Helenus, then Katya, and then Axicas.
Okay. And then Drool behind Magnus. So, as the 12 of you, Drool included, make your way up the final stairs, as you emerge up, Katya, you can see this large circular room with a high dome roof, like a pointed dome roof. There are a number of bookcases emerging from the walls at the cardinal directions, ending in pillars and torches. And behind you, behind you as you come up the stairs, you can see a large glowing light, in which is silhouetted a robed individual, red-haired, with a white floating staff. And Ganrahast turns slowly to look at you, and he looks shocked for a moment. Meanwhile, as the Warhounds in the Shadowfell make their way to the top, you see these glowing purple runes on the floor, in between a number of bookshelves that emerge from the cardinal points on the walls, but the books look old and disused. And floating in front of a constructed stone portal is a large 9-foot black-skinned creature with an octopus-like head. And the creature stops and slowly turns towards you as its milky white eyes narrow. The Ulatharid lowers its head, and you recognize it to be the same Ulatharid as the one you met on the Nautilid over the Dragonmere Sea. and in your mind you hear unexpected. And in Suzail, Ganrahast narrows his eyes at you, Katya, and Magnus, and with a sneer he says, "To be expected." And he reaches a hand out and grabs his staff and says, "As much as you've done for the realm of Cormyr, I'm afraid the song of the Warhounds stops here." And he takes a step back and then drops into a combat position. And as he bangs his staff and magic erupts out, we'll grab a 10-minute break.
No! No, Dan.
Can I
Dun, dun,
say
dun.
smell? You could smell it on him that he is going to be useless to us in the long run. And behold,
See you in 10!
In a bit.
See you in
Bye
10.
bye bye! Greetings, viewer. We here at War Dogs Inc. ask for a moment of your time. We appreciate you watching the tales of our many exciting adventures through Cormyr. So, in return for letting you join in our fun, we've got one simple request for you. Partaking in the beautiful act of subscribing allows us to identify those whose radiance must be honoured in song.
But this channel shows stories of warhounds, not war dogs.
Oh, wait, what? Ugh, just subscribe for fuck's sake! Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back.
Oh,
Welcome back
Hello,
to this
hello.
gaggle fuckery that is.
Oh, yes.
Very exciting.
This multi-dimensional battle. So, we find the Warhounds split between the material realm and the Shadowfell, but at the same time quite close to one another, for reasons we shall see in a moment. But yes, you've both made your ways to the tops of Ganrahast's tower. Katya, with Magnus and Arin and Helenis and Axakas, you have found Ganrahast, who does not seem pleased with your arrival. Whilst Warhounds over in the Shadowfell, you have come face to face with the black-hided Mind Flayer that was piloting the Nautilid that you met not too long ago over the Dragonmere Sea. Who would like to get started?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
Do it.
In which case, everyone, roll me initiative.
Doom.
Catcher gets 12. Joel gets 16.
Healthy boy got a 6. Oh well. Next. Yeah.
Rager got a 22. Slate gets
14. Oh, wait, I've got another one to do. I forgot.
Note to self:
14.
do not take Dex as a dump stat. Actually, that's one thing they should fix with D&D 1. Is dexterity for initiative is rubbish. Get rid of it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's my
I
2
smell a
cents.
Ranton with Anton.
Ooh, yes. You're right.
Zumbo and last one, Ace Magnus.
And
Everyone here has
he
2 characters.
has a 12. Although IRL Magnus, the character version, has +5 for his intelligence.
That's,
+4, I guess.
that's cute.
+4.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is cute, isn't it?
that's fair. So, we kick things off, and Zumbo kind of woozily looks round and where is he? Where is he? He says, and as he turns around and sees this Ulatharid floating in front of this kind of glowing pinkish portal, excuse me, he says, and he begins to make his way over. Raedra. I wonder who might be playing Raedra.
It's me! Raedra pulls Raedra pulls out her sword.
Mm-hmm.
So he realizes it's not her like head of state sword. Gives Hiram a look and be like, "Nope, no, I did this to myself." And she, ooh, can she make it? She can't get close enough. Shame. So she is going to dash to get beside the Ilatharid.
Cool. Okay, so as Raedra goes running off, Hiram.
Okay, Hiram is going to follow her lead. And...
Like auntie, like nephew.
Mm-hmm.
Or mother and son.
Why could
No.
I...
Yeah. There's some banisters in the way you'll have to go around. Yeah.
Okay, so 25.
So as you emerge out from the stairwell and make your way round it, you see this black-skinned Ilatharid kind of look to you. Its milky white eyes kind of scanning from left to right between Raedra and you, Hiram.
I'm gonna stop at its other side. So we're
Okay.
booking it in.
Sure. So Slate, as you come rumbling up the stairs in your earthen form, what do you do?
So these guys here, what are they made of?
They are stone pillars that kind of rise up to a central point in the. Would they? They are stone pillars that rise up, but they are broken, and there is little to no roof overhead. And in fact, overhead you can see you are significantly closer to the tear in the sky.
I would like to rip off one of these stone pillars if I can, please.
Okay.
The nearest one is cool. And I want to do
roll.
it really menacingly. As menacingly as stone can muster.
Sure. Roll me a strength check. With. You are a siege monster, so let's say with advantage.
Woohoo! Woo! What'd I get?
Okay,
Oh!
An 8. Okay. So you grab the
What's
stone pillar.
advantage?
As you grab it and sort of like go to pull it away, the rock crumbles to dust in your hands. It seems that it's not
Too successful.
It's too successful. Yeah. Okay, so that was your action. Anything else?
I'll just wander as far as I can towards the old Illithid dude. Illithid? Mind Flare?
It's
Yeah.
a very big Illithid, a 9-foot tall Illithid.
What's another word for a giant that could be word for Illithid? I'll kind of call it the Illithud for now. We'll figure it out. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll work on it.
It is
I'm
squid.
just trying to find out. Oh, it's just 30 foot. Okay. Fine. So I've already moved 5.
Yeah. Dunk. Okay, so you can get to there. On top of so you as you kind of go lumbering off, you stride over Zumbo, and Zumbo like ducks down and pats the top of his head, his hat to his head, as you stride over him.
Then I'll shake my stony fist, really extra menacingly. I'm just building up all that menace until
Sure.
at one point this guy's just gonna break down. He's gonna be so scared.
We'll see how that pans out. Emily.
Emily is going to just do her normal things. Just move a bit to the side, first of all. And then shoot this guy, if she can.
Sure. Currently, from where you're stood, he's gonna get it's gonna get cover from Slate. Carry on moving a bit further.
Yeah, I
Only
think
gone
maybe I'll
10.
check. Would this be better? Yeah, I think that would be better.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm quite on our side. Okay. Shooting 12. I don't think 12 would hit.
Unfortunately not. So this bolt flies in, and the Ilatharid lifts her hand up and catches the bolt in midair and discards it.
Okay.
Catches it with his mind, like holds her hand out and discards it.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, Balthazar.
I am going to move forward, and this is going to work perfectly. I will cast.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, Mel's Minute Meteors.
Okay.
At 4th
That's
level, And target the Illithid. I
Okay.
need a DC 16 dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
And he fits exactly the size of the meteor. So I've got these giant arcane blue swirling balls above. And 2 of them will crash down. That's a fail. I need to do that twice.
Okay, so so the first meteor hits the Ulatharid in the chest and attempts to dodge the second one. Doesn't dodge the second one either. So takes 11 damage in total.
11. That's, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the Mind Flayer lifts its arms up and is rocked by these 2 magical bolts, and it is rocked slightly.
Yeah, I'll
By
stay
the
there.
meteors. That was great.
Hey.
Sorry.
That's my turn.
You get inspiration.
Thanks. Okay, so the Ulatharid kind of is pushed back a few feet by the glowing meteors. It then kind of pulls its arms back and, scanning around, it floats away from Raedra, round Hiram.
Attack of opportunity.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
18
that is a hit.
for 10 slashing.
Okay, and it is rocked as by Raedra, like swinging the sword out at it. It then, Hiram, you keeping your guard up, you watch as it then turns, looks across the room, brings its fingers to its forehead, and the air in front of you kind of shakes as it unleashes a mind blast. So Hiram, Raedra, Slate, Zumbo, and Emily, I need a DC 17 intelligence save.
Ouch.
Oh, I forgot about the lack of intelligence that Oh,
The group has.
Ruh-roh.
that's true.
I'm going to use
Oh.
Abominable.
Who gets the plus? Is it ability checks? Or...
Hiram, no one's within 10 feet of you, unfortunately.
Oh.
So, let's have a look. We've got Emily on a 12,
Yeah.
Slate on an 8, Raedra on a 3, reroll to a 9. We've got Hiram on a 15 with your bonus.
Oh, yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4. And Zumbo rolls a
Natural 20?
6.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
boy. Okay, so Balthazar, you watch as this Ulatharid kind of unleashes this wave of psychic energy, and all 5 of you take 30 psychic damage.
Balthazar goes,
Ooh.
ooh, yikes.
And you are all stunned.
Oh, God.
That's a bit...
that is bad.
So stunned means you will...
You're incapacitated, can't move, can't speak, only falteringly. Automatically fail strength and dexterity saving throws, and attack rolls against you have advantage. Incapacitated means you can't take actions or reactions.
Cool. So all of that. So Balthazar, you watch as the 5 of them, like there's this ripple of energy, and the 5 of them are kind of blown back, and as they stand up and stagger, you just see them. They're swaying heavily on their feet, kind of looking around in all directions. As that happens, you hear this kind of deep, resonant voice emanate through your minds. And Balthazar, you watch as the Ulatharid turns to look in your direction, reaches out a hand towards you, and like clenches his fist, and you watch as shapes begin to coagulate on the floor behind you.
Ooh.
And from the floor climb 2 shadow-like creatures.
Don't like that.
But as they emerge from the ground, the shadows pull up with them and form into what look like wicked spiked chains.
Amazing.
The two shadows then swarm towards you, Balthazar.
But in a good way.
They want to give you a hug.
The best
A chainy hug.
And as they
With 3 attacks?
they swing at you with a flurry of blows. So unfortunately, Balthazar, this is first attack 15 to hit, second
Miss.
attack 14 to
Miss.
hit, third attack 13 to hit,
Get out of here!
fourth
Go
attack
away.
15 to hit, fifth
Miss.
attack 11 to hit,
Miss!
and 15
Miss.
to hit. Oh! Okay, Balthazar, you bring your staff up and shield yourself.
No.
And these shadows just like swing and flail at you, but they can't get through your defenses.
Balthazar's wrapping the chains up at the staff and just pulling him close, like, try it, bitches.
Holy moly! Okay, very
No,
good.
thank you.
This was very, very subpar rolls. Yeah, 9, 8s, and 7s.
Okay, so with that then, in Suzail, Ganrahast snarls at you and grabs his staff and kind of begins conjuring a spell. Helena steps down and like draws her bow, not like pulls the bowstring back as an arrow of light appears in the like in the bow, like in front of the bowstring, and she shouts out, "Oh no, you don't!" And fires an arrow directly at Ganrahast, hitting him for 10 damage, and he Drawl.
Okay, so Drool is going to run forward. And... I can't get close enough. That's annoying. Why don't we give the dog a crossbow?
Non-profit.
Exactly. I'm going to dash then. It's the only way I'm going to get close enough. And yeah, that's all he's going to do for now. You were very clever to put us behind a pillar. You knew what you were doing when you woke up this morning, Dan.
Like always. Aaron, so you've just seen the dog skit round, paws slipping on the marble floor, like in the gold filigree underfoot. What are you doing?
I'm gonna go right here. And I would like to...
So as you head round the stairwell, and you can see Ganrahast stood in front of the portal and Drawl sliding across the floor towards him.
How high am I? How high is the ceiling, sorry?
The ceiling's about 20 foot above.
Okay, well that's all we got. Right, I'll activate my Sky Knight string by going ooh, and doing something that you probably can't do without getting into like some copyright troubles. And then, so I don't know if I activate it. Can I activate it that way? Cool. And then I would like to do...
Yeah.
I'll do the jump attack. Why not?
So,
Now it's 12. Yes.
okay, so Aaron, as you come round, you activate your magic ring, and as you leap off the floor and sort of like lunge towards Ganrahast, so you can launch 30 feet and land basically next to him. The creature makes a dex save.
Can I just say, Aaron has been in a couple of fights so far, and we did not make a good enough joke with heavy thrust to make it a short. I feel like some heavy have failed.
There's still time. Okay, so Ganrahast fails his dive, his dex save. Cool. Okay, so if you roll your damage, Slate. Okay, so
28.
Ganrahast takes half of this, so that's 28. So he takes 14. So you jump, and as you kind of bring your spear down to kind of aiming for his heart, your spear connects with Ganrahast's chest, but then the tip of your spear slides off something hard, and as it tears Ganrahast's robes, you see that his skin is almost stone-like under his robes.
Oh,
As he
sneaky.
appears, he has cast stone skin on himself. So he takes half, so that's 14 damage in total. And he like cries out as you kind of knock him back with the tip of your spear.
Is he concentrating on that then?
He is.
Yes.
He is.
Right.
Yes. In which case. Oh boy, he really didn't expect this. Okay, so the spear strikes him and it knocks him back enough that you see the skin become kind of soft and more supple as you land the strike.
Nice.
Anything else, Aaron?
I don't think I can do anything else.
Okay, Axicas.
Axicas is. Okay. So I'm just doing some measure. I'm gonna do some measuring very, very quickly.
This fireball will hit everyone. Just checking.
Unless you cast it up here.
Yeah, probably.
I'm gonna, Axicas is going to move here,
Yeah.
and she is going to use her super special spell of.
So as you move around the stairwell, the opposite side to Aaron.
There we go. So, circle of power.
Okay. I am.
I did warn you. I did
am-
warn you.
I am
So happy. So happy.
Are you cancelling it? Yeah, I thought so.
So, Ganrahast looks to you as you begin to conjure this spell, and he no, and he.
Dan, do I have line of sight on Ganrahast?
You.
Or is there a pillar
probably-
in the way?
You probably do actually with Magnus.
Oh, well, I will counterspell your counterspell.
He casts spell in the counter spell. Okay.
Yeah.
So he casts it at level 3.
Yeah, I cast it level 3. Oh, I have to do the.
Yeah.
That is a roll.
Okay.
Oh.
So Ganrahast looks to you as you cast your spell, Axicas, and he. I don't think so. And he brings his hand out, and you see this kind of bolt of energy, which is
I
then
don't think so.
Sideswiped by Magnus, and your circle of power generates, and he what that? And he looks up and looks to you, Cobbleson.
Meet the new beige royal, bitch!
Should have learned to be a warcaster.
Much obliged, Magnus.
Very, very good. Okay, so this kind of area of light emanates out from you, Axicas. I believe it's a 30-foot radius, right?
It is a 30-foot radius, and it lasts for 10 minutes.
Lasts for 10 minutes. Okay.
So if you do pass your saving throw for a spell, instead of taking half damage, you take no damage.
Okay.
And you have advantage on those saving throws.
Waba Weewa, that is definitely a spell.
Oh, I can
Very,
just see
very
the
good.
amount of regret there. Like, just in your eyes, just like,
Yep.
why did I let this happen?
I want it to be known. I did tell you a couple of times, like, oh, are you sure? I can have
Yep.
it.
Okay, so this kind of red energy emanates out from
nice.
Axicas as you begin to kind of absorbing and distorting the magics around you. And Ganrahast looks shocked for a moment. And like Aaron, you just about hear under his voice, he says, "How did I not know about her?" He says. Anything else, Axicas?
That is going to stare right at Ganrahast and say, your turn, wizard boy.
Okay. Katya!
Katya knee slides in next to Axicas. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to
It's
hit
like
him.
a rock and roll knee slide.
Yeah, just completely like knee slide in. And she's going to basically strum on her lyre and then whack him with a 4th level Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
I feel like this group's doing better than the other one.
Yeah, I was about to say,
Much
the guy who turned around was like, how completely expected is being absolutely walloped, and the creature was like, how unexpected. It's like, oh, I'm dominating this fight.
So Ganrahast looks to you as you strum out this dissonant chord, and he bangs his staff on the floor and kind of dissipates most of the energy. So if you roll your damage, he takes 14. Okay.
And then for a bonus action, I will give Magnus a Bardic Inspiration, which
Yay.
is also magically inclined, so you can also use it for magical effects.
Nope.
Nice.
Where is it? Sorry.
Bardik. Must remember.
Very good. Okay. Anything else, Katya?
She gets to her feet and she's just flips off Ganrahast, I suppose.
Sure. Okay. Go, Magnus, go.
Cool. I'm going to cast slow. On the EDB corner where Ganrahast is. That's okay here.
Yeah.
And he must make a DC 16 Wisdom saving throw, or bad things will happen.
He makes a
Ooh.
17.
Oops.
So he
Okay.
kind of deflect some of that as well. Some of that away as well.
It's okay. Just testing. That will be as a bonus action. I will use my feature, which is called as one.
Mm-hmm.
I took an attack bonus action. I will ask. Who will I ask? I will ask Aaron to make an attack.
Okay, Aaron, you get a free attack as Magnus distracts Ganrahast.
Boom.
That is a 15. So that is a hit.
Yeah. So he'll drive it and try and push him down.
Get him, Aaron.
Okay, so that is a that much damage. 10 damage. Okay.
Zing.
And Ganrahast is rocked back as you kind of stab at his legs, and he moves his leg out of the way, but you get the side of his foot and kind of leave a dent in the marble floor under his feet. Anything else, Magnus?
That'll be my turn.
Okay. Ganrahast snarls at you all. He smirks for a moment, and I hadn't thought to be so hard pressed.
We've got a name for this new gang of ours. It's probably going to be our new gang from now on.
All I need is a little extra time.
Oh no.
Katya's sort of as he says that, she's like, no!
Okay. Roll me a charisma ability check. It will be DC 19.
Holy shit.
So just a normal charisma check.
It's a 9th level spell.
Mhm.
Damn. Good darn. Oh yes.
Ooh.
Oh yes.
And you feel the world beginning to slow down as Ganrahast begins to move quicker. But then as you your eyes glow white and you snatch the spell out of the air and kind of blow back the time dilation back towards Ganrahast, and he as the world kind of returns to normal. And as you kind of break his concentration, he stupid girl, he shouts, and he looks around in a panic, and he kind of looks across the room to you, Magnus, and kind of in your direction, Katya, and he brings his staff up and blows into it, and it begins to glow this kind of sickly green. And Magnus, you feel an intense heat from behind you.
But in a good way.
As two of the wall torches turn green and float off of the torches. And take the image of ghastly looking skulls as they join the battle. One of them, its eyes blaze, and
I'm sorry, what?
Its eyes blaze, and a mote of light flies out and detonates as it launches a fireball towards Axakas, Helenus, and Katya.
Oh dear.
We get to do this with advantage, don't we?
Yes.
Because of
Yes, so I will do Helenus's. So DC 13 Dex. Oh, Helenus fails. Oh boy. So 22 for Katya and 1 for Axakas.
20.
Okay. So the flames rip out. Axakas, you're next to Katya, and you kind of bring your magic circle around you and shield Katya from the vast majority of it. Helenus is unfortunately caught in the blast and takes 12, and Axakas, as the flames lick over you.
No, we don't take any damage at all.
In which case, the second one does the same.
Ooh.
As another fireball flies out towards the three of you.
Nice.
I mean, that's
Solid.
what I'm looking for here. Oh, 15.
Yes.
Nah.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Yay!
And as the second fireball comes in, Axcash, you kind of channel the spell and deflect the blast away completely. Ganrahast looks shocked at what's happening, and like spits and sputters. And with that, we return to Zumbo.
Stunned?
Zumbo is stunned, so he just kind of stands around, kind of what's happening? What? That is a DC an intelligence save. So Zumbo attempts to push on, but he does it. So Zumbo kind of shakes himself awake and. Oh, not this again! He shouts. Raedra.
Raedra attempts to save. Nope.
And she is still swaying on her feet. Hiram.
Oh, me.
I will say, because you crit, you get your turn as normal.
Nice.
How much?
Sweet.
How much would you guys charge me if I heal myself? Because that's getting very.
It's getting spicy.
A bit.
Okay, so yeah, Hiram, you dig into your resolve and your mind clears as you gain a clarity and you look up to this like monstrous squid-like beast in front of you.
Yeah. So yeah, Hiram looks up and goes like, and heals himself for 16.
Okay, very good.
Oh no.
Is lay on hands bonus or full action?
But no, it's full action.
Full action.
Full action.
Full action.
I almost lied. And I do get a bonus action. I am going to use Child Divinity as a bonus action. Champion Challenge.
Oh, on the Ulitharid.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
It's wisdom, so it's probably going to succeed, but still.
Cool.
Worth a try.
It looks to you and magical effects. It is so. It is resistant. So rolls
You're
a
fine.
21. As it looks down to you, as you kind of challenge it, you hear a voice in your head ring out and say, "You are not worthy to challenge us."
Alpha. I mean, I assume the challenge was more here. I'm going like, come at me, bro.
Sure. Okay, so Hiram, did you want to do any moving?
I'm going to shuffle to the side.
Sure. Okay, next up, Slate. If I could go straight to intelligence save, please.
My speciality.
Ah.
Why not? It's a 7. Is that good enough?
Unfortunately not. No. So Slate, you just kind of drop to one knee, and we're not sure what Earth Elemental's brain looks like, but it's currently spinning at high speeds in your form. Emily needs to make a intelligence save.
Saving throw, yep. Oh, that's a -1 for her. Lovely. That's on 0.
Oh,
That's on 0.
Boy, okay, so Emily just like she falls on her back like she's sitting down. Balthazar, you are currently being mobbed by 2 spiked chain swinging shadows. What do you do?
yeah. I'm gonna move back to here. They may
One of
attack me.
them
Okay, go.
Swings at you.
Yes.
12. Okay.
Cool. I'm gonna lightning in your, the one that just attacked me.
Yeah.
So it needs to make a DC 16 strength saving throw.
It rolls a
Passes.
16.
Bastard. And I can't add catch the dice to anything. No, that doesn't work that way. That's fine. That was my action. I'm gonna bonus action onto the big boss. Do my meteor.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a bonus action. Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Okay.
So
Dex.
DC 16 Dex. Yeah, I'll just roll it manually.
So 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fail, right?
So 2
10.
fails.
Sure. 14 points of damage
14.
to the big
Okay.
boss.
2 more bolts rock the Ulatharid as you step away from the shadows. Anything else,
That's my turn.
Balthazar?
Oh, we're good.
Cool. The Ulatharid kind of growls as it kind of lifts itself off the ground like a few feet. It floats around past you, Hiram, and first thing it does is doesn't recharge its Mind Blast. So instead, it turns and looks to you, Balthazar, and in your head,
No.
you hear,
Uh,
"Your kind showed so much promise," as it reaches into your mind and attempts to crush it. Can I have
I've read.
as it casts Feeble Mind on you, please roll me a DC 17 Intelligence save.
You see, I read an 8th level spell, in the description, but that doesn't sound right, does it, Dan? You wouldn't cast an 8th level spell at.
I wouldn't. This Ulatharid would though. Please make me a DC 17 Intelligence save.
Normal, but can I add a die to that?
What,
It's Magnus that has the die. Damn it.
Magnus.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Don't I have like arcane abjuration? I think that's also Magnus. What have I got? I've got nothing.
Wait, you're not 10 feet from me.
You're not 10 feet away.
You guys need to be closer to me.
Yeah, Balthazar is a way away. I don't think there's anything you can do. So,
Do I have inspiration? Hold on. Do I have inspiration?
you do have inspiration.
Do I?
Ooh.
I do. I've got it ticked. I don't know why I have it ticked, but I do. Okay, let's try again. I don't want to be feeble-minded because it's bad.
It is bad.
I got a +0 to this. Oh, it's not very good. Normal. Nope. That's it. We're going down.
Hiram, you watch as this
Press
Ulatharid
restart.
turns towards Balthazar, reaches out, and there's this pulse of energy toward Balthazar. You watch as his head twitches, and then his eyes grow dim as he slumps to the ground.
Well, that's a problem.
You also take 12 psychic damage.
Fantastic. I love it.
Okay. The Ulatharid returns back to you, Hiram, and gestures across the room. See how easily your allies fall. The chained shadows.
I feel sorry for Ganrahast. He's probably looking back at the portal, watching this Ulatharid dominating his side, while he's now like bleeding, got a big bruise on his face. Like,
One of the chain shadows floats up to Slate and makes 3 with advantage because you're stunned. So that's a miss. That's a miss and a hit.
That's a hit, yeah.
So an 11, a 14, and a 23. So, Slate, you take as one of these chains kind of like lashes round you. You take 10 piercing damage, and you must now succeed on a dexterity saving throw, which I believe you automatically fail because you are stunned. In which case, you are knocked prone as the creature wraps one of your legs and pulls it out from under you. The other one swoops up to Zumbo and 23, 14, and a 15, which I believe is only one hit. So he manages to duck out the way of 3 of the attacks. One hits him for 10 damage as he can't predict the final one. He then passes a dexterity save and prevents the chain from kind of really getting a grip. Across on the other side, Hellenis. Hellenis kind of staggers out a bit charred and burnt, and she kind of swears as she shouts to Axakas to keep the shield up, and she kind of weaves a spell with her hand, and this large, kind of overly large, glowing arrow begins to glow in front of her bowstring as she fires a holy arrow at Ganrahast, but misses. Ganrahast kind of brings the staff up, and the arrow of light shatters against his shields. Draw.
Jewel's going to do what Jewel does best, and he's going to attempt to bite. Oh,
That is a hit.
so he grabs hold. He grabs hold literally of the back of Ganrahast, and Ganrahast needs to make a DC 15 strength save.
He fails.
He falls prone, and then Jewel suddenly glows and just headbutts him into the floor for an extra 9 force damage, and sends him skidding 5 feet away from him.
Okay. So, Ganrahast, who's largely ignored the dog, keeping an eye on all the spellcasters, pulled to the ground, knocked across the floor. Anything else, Draw?
No, Drew's just gonna at that point just be like, and in Togo that means hit him, Aaron, hit him, stab him, stab him, stab him.
Stab him. Aaron!
Listening to Drool and probably understanding everything about it just because of the knowledge of animals, I feel like Aaron knows his nods and his barks. And he nods at Drool and drives his spear down towards Ganrahast.
Sure. You can roll. Is it a jump attack?
Why not? Since it's still active, right? It's a minute, so.
Yes, and you. Yeah, it's just a jump attack. It's a DC attack.
I would like to do a spine shatter dive, please. Sounds like a cool. I'm gonna stand there and go like this, and while the audience goes crazy, and then be like, "Whoa."
Okay, so as you leap, you kind of leap up, and as you bring the spear down, like at high velocity, Ganrahast kind of kicks out of the way, and your spear lodges into the marble where he was laying prone. Roll your damage. So he takes half of 34. So that is 17. Okay, he kind of slides out the way and kind of looks at the spot where you would have just pinned him to the ground. And Aaron, as that happens, the magic in your ring dissipates as you pull your spear free. Anything else, Aaron?
No.
Okay. Axakas.
Oh, he's not doing well, is he?
He looks like he's taking a beating, yeah.
Poor guy. I think it's time to kind of finish this in a proper fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So, focusing on... that point. So, focusing on here, I am going to cast a fireball.
Okay.
Ooh.
Just level 3 because he's already doing fairly badly.
Dope.
So,
He
Nice.
will...
can't spell it.
It matters little.
No, he fails.
As he goes to counter spell your fireball, but Aaron, you kind of kick up a bit of marble in his eyes, and then the counter spell misses. Roll for damage.
30 fire damage.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, darn.
Okay, so Axakas, as you fling the fireball up, Ganrahast goes to kind of swat it out the sky, but misses. The mote strikes the organ on the far side of the tower, and the organ pipes kind of ring out as this explosion hurtles towards Ganrahast, and he kind of looks up and like brings a hand up. As that happens, as that explosion rings out, Zumbo kind of looks around and runs up to Radrin, wake up, he says, and kind of starts trying to slap Raedra around the chops. So he's going to give her aid on her next save against the stun effect. Raedra, you may roll with advantage.
Fantastic. Raedra will roll with advantage. Saving throw, advantage.
13. Okay. And Zumbo... Oh!
She will not have any of this, so she will go again. Which is just without advantage or with advantage again?
With advantage.
With advantage again. Come on, Raedra.
Yeah.
Raedra.
The halfling slapping her around the cheeks eventually makes her...
She grabs his hand like, lay your hand on royalty again and I'll have it chopped off.
Bigger problems, he says, pointed at the 9-foot mind flayer.
Good point.
Hiram.
I'll knight you instead.
Hiram, what do you do?
Hiram actually at this point is genuinely angry, and I am not gonna try to cast anything. I am gonna hack at this motherfucker.
Sure.
French.
So as you bring
You're Cormyrian. Pardon you, Cormyrian.
So
Pardon my language.
you bring Orbin up, and your face is illuminated by the glowing purple gem and the runes which run up the side of the blade.
Okay, let's see. 29.
That's a hit.
Excellent. That is 15 damage.
Yeah.
And
So one strike into the Ulatharid.
And because at this point I am very desperate, I'm also going to use a Divine Smite.
Okay.
First level. So that's 4 radiant damage on top of that.
Okay.
And for a second one, it's a 23
That's a hit.
for 12 and 21 radiant damage.
Oh.
21. Okay, so the runes blaze brightly as you put in these 2 strikes against the Ulatharid, who kind of brings a hand up, slash across the torso. You see this kind of dark, thick ichor splatter across the floor that seems to absorb the light of your emanating from your blade. Anything else here, Ab?
Yes, Hiram is also going to circle this guy and just stop here. So at least someone can get helps the saving throws.
Sure. Okay. In which case, Slate, if you roll me a intelligence save and you get +3 to it.
Yeah!
Oh,
You
way!
did it!
So Slate, you as Hiram just starts going wailing on this Ulatharid, it gives you a moment to kind of shake your mind free, and your world coalesces back into a single vision. And next turn you'll be able to stand up. Emily, a intelligence save, please.
Come on, girl. I know it's a -1. That's 2 natural ones on this goddamn saving throw.
Emily lays down on the ground and
Emily is done. Emily's just done with this adventure. Oh, girl, you need to move.
Balthazar.
Balthazar, dumb. Like, dumber than Drool, but can still hit things. So, gonna go and hit the big squiddy that's attacking Hiram.
Okay. Balthazar lets out a bellowing war cry.
plus what?
So imagine he's singing his new Warhounds.
Yeah, I'm singing the new Wild Song.
An intelligence
got
1 war machine.
I got Shillelagh up, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's
so it's +8. That's about right. That's about right. 14 to hit the squid.
14. So as you swing the staff, and the Ulatharid grabs the wood and throws it back at you.
Cool. Balthazar angry. That's my turn.
Okay. The Ulatharid grunts slightly and doesn't recharge.
Thank God.
Looks to you, Hiram.
I don't like that face.
Never trust a smiling DM.
No, Hiram and Balthazar are looking rough.
Yes.
You know how Zumbo is always like tip top, like never gets.
Do you know who else looks rough? Emily.
Is he? Oh, I haven't seen anybody.
So,
Oh, yeah.
the Ulatharid looks down at you, Hiram, and in your mind you hear, "You should join us. You would do well."
Why
As
are
it
you
begins
dominate
to-
monster?
Attempts to dominate your mind.
But it's dominate
The
monster. that
benefits are really good.
You attempt to beguile a creature that you can see within range.
Ah, fair enough.
We have health insurance.
If it helps, I
Okay.
don't think you're a monster.
Thank you.
So, a DC 17 Wisdom save, please, Hiram.
Oh my god. Have I told you lately that I hate you? 22 in your face.
Oh, my flex. So this
Actually,
Ulatharid
25.
reaches down and kind of tries to pierce into your mind, but you soldier through. You break through the Ulatharid's grip, and it looks shocked.
It's all the training Hiram's had from the times Catch has been playing with his mind.
Evidently, yeah. And you hear this kind of voice in your, like, the Ulatharid looks shocked, but the voice you hear in your head doesn't seem as shocked, which is peculiar when you hear a interesting. You hear. In response, the chain shadows swarm you. So Slate, you get to make an opportunity attack against one of them.
Am I still prone?
You are, so it'd be disadvantage.
Okay. I will do it anyway.
Uh,
Because it's kind of personal.
the first shadow swings at you, Hiram, for 20, 17, and 9.
20 hits, the other two doesn't.
Okay, so the first attack does 7 damage.
Whoops.
That'll be a hit L. Yeah, that's fine. I'll come back and do that in a sec. So Hiram, you are struck by the first chain. If I can get a DC 14 dexterity save, please.
You and your dexterity. Oh,
Ooh.
I am
Okay.
going to. Oh, I'm going to use my inspiration to reroll that.
Okay.
I feel like that's not a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, that's plus 3, 14.
14 passes. Okay, so this chain wraps round you, and you see this necrotic energy begin to fly down the chain, but you throw it off yourself before the necrotic energy hits you. The second one, as it flies away from you, Slate, you crack it. Roll for damage.
Boom.
17. Okay. So you punch at this kind of amorphous shape, and the fist like connects with something, but kind of phases through a lot of the rest of it. It takes 8 damage. It then also flies up to Hiram and attempts to protect the Ulatharid. 25, a 22, and an 11.
25, 22 hit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the 2 hits deal 19 damage, and I need 2 dexterity 14 saves.
Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, just one. Sorry, big wrong.
Okay, so dexterity again.
Yes, please.
I think this is where you get me. Yeah, 9.
Okay. In which case, the spike chain, this spike chain wraps around you. You see the necrotic energy, and you take 24 necrotic damage as it.
Okay,
like-
so that actually brings me down to. I would fall unconscious, but I'm back to 1 hit point.
Okay.
Oh,
Dum.
yeah.
Okay, so you kind of drop to the floor as the shadows mob you. Hiram, as you hit the ground, there is a noise. A bolt of light flies out from the portal and fire at one of the shadows.
Nice. I didn't realize there was a portal. Oh, they can get through.
This arrow strikes the shadow, which takes as Hellenis kind of steps through with her holy bow, and holy weapon does an additional 11 damage. So it takes. So as this beam of light strikes the shadow screeches, as it seems to really not like the light. So that's 13, 26, 28 damage in total. And it flies backwards away from Hellenis. As Hellenis steps out, Drool, are you going through the portal?
Drool's going through the portal.
Drool, you burst through the portal into this dark, cold world. Hiram's on the ground. There's a massive, giant mind flayer that smells very familiar nearby.
It goes straight for the mind flayer.
Okay. Well, that's it.
And 23.
That is a hit.
It takes 10 piercing.
Yeah.
And I assume it gets advantage on the strength save.
It does indeed. So Drool jumps at it and, like, because he has to jump to hit the thing which is floating off the ground. It just kind of floats back a little bit, but then regains its composition.
In that case, as it gains its composition, suddenly, boom! Another 11 force damage.
Okay, it is rocked back and collides with a bookcase and all these dusty old books tumble down. Aaron, are you going through?
I think Aaron would take, would look to go through, but would take, before going through it, kind of just a thought, because obviously he's leaving his baby daughter without knowing exactly what's on the other side of this. Well, knowing what's on the other side, but not knowing if it can come back. So I think he'll take a deep breath before he goes through.
Sure.
And he says, "I'll be back for you," and heads in.
Okay. Aaron, as you emerge through the portal, you find yourself in this decrepit version of the tower you were just in. You watch as this dog body slams this floating 9-foot mind flayer. There's shadows with chains swirling about. Hiram's just shackled up by them. Rager stood around wrestling with this halfling. What do you do?
I lean towards the closest one that I've got to, which is this one, and again go for the old stabby stab with the spear.
Sure. You'll have to reactivate your ring because a spine shatter dive turns it off.
Sure. Is that with the ring? Is that does that take a bonus action to? Yes.
As a bonus action, yeah.
Right now I'll just go for a stabby stab.
Sure.
A normal human stabby stab.
22 to hit is a hit.
Boom.
It does
12 damage.
12 damage.
And then a bonus, I will recharge the ring.
Cool. Is Axicas going through?
Yeah.
Okay. Axicas, as you step through the portal into the Shadowfell, taking this kind of corona of arcane power with you, you watch as Aaron kind of dives and jams a spear through the leg of this giant squid-headed humanoid.
Well, that is, I suppose that's kind of what I expected. What do I do that's not going to also hurt other people? It would be easy to roll it up, but I feel like that's going to, not be great for some people. Actually, no. I think she's going to look around and there's like, oh, that is not. There's some trouble over there. I still have the spell going, don't I?
You do. Yes, still
I don't want to go too far, just in case someone decides to be a dick. I'm gonna Ray of Frosted.
Okay.
I can go wrong.
That's a hit.
26.
That is definitely a hit.
That's just 6.
Okay. Cool. So, Axicas, as you come through, and then the ice forms runes on the ground around your feet. Catcher, you watched as Axicas hurled this mote of fire towards this organ, and there's a part of you that thought, no, as this grand instrument detonated and melted into bits. Exploded and melted into bits, but you watched as the flames washed over Ganrahast. When the flames died away, and everyone started shouting, kind of pointing at the portal, you saw this kind of shape this body on the floor, robes burnt and burning. The staff, the white staff that he was holding in his hand, charred and kind of away from the explosion. As Magnus kind of turns to you and as everyone starts piling in through the portal, the flaming skulls disappear as Ganrahast hits the floor. And as you go to follow Magnus through the portal, you hear a wheeze from the ground.
She turns back towards Ganrahast.
He looks to you and...
Just the Warhounds to save the day. You're too late. They already have their ruler.
And he looks up to you, and the back of his hair is burnt away, and his scalp is torched. And he kind of looks up to you with this deranged look.
Is your head about to split open and another creature about to pop out?
He shakes his head and...
I spent so long living in my father's shadow. It seemed apt to give my loyalty to Shah.
Oh, Ganrahast, I don't have time to listen to it, as she mind walks into him.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow!
He looks. Oh wow! Yeah, he looks shocked and fails the save. I'm just gonna say he fails it. And as you walk into his mind and you hear him,
just shut up. This will go quicker.
You see like a barrage of memories. A barrage of memories from various points of Ganrahast's life as he lives in the shadow of his father, Ganrahast, who was the much more famous and well-respected Mage Royal of Cormyr. But as you kind of fast forward through the memories, because you can feel this man's life fading away, there is a moment, there is a memory that you see of a prone and magically bound Ezered. And Ganrahast kind of tilts his head and smiles as he floats Ezered through this portal into the Shadowfell. And through the portal you can see a number of kind of tall 9-foot mind flayers nod slowly, and there's a crackle of light from the Shadowfell royal court in the distance. And in your mind you hear, "You have served me well, Ganrahast." And it's the same voice that you heard on the ship the last time you were in the Shadowfell. Ganrahast nods and telepathically replies, "I live to serve you, Lord Iolam." And with that, there you go.
The psychic version of Katya, I imagine she just sort of leans in behind Ganrahast. It's like, I hope you are happy that you betrayed Cormyr. Because if this is going to be your last memory, I hope it's one you're proud of.
Ganrahast smiles and, "Nothing compares to the Netherese Empire."
I imagine what she does is she sort of reactivates his vision as she watches Axakash just... Not even the Netherese can stand against the Warhounds. Enjoy that as your last thought.
As the memory of the fire, of the flames colliding with his back are brought back to the forefront of his memory, you step out of his mind as the man dies, and Ganrahast perishes. As you step through, Katya, you see the Warhounds in a desperate struggle. What do you do?
Is this guy still alive?
Just.
In that case, I don't think it matters either which way. She just...
Yeah.
4th level, dissonant whispers. And she just walks through the portal, strums a lyre. You fucking miss me?
So it fails.
Oh!
And as you reach into its mind, you reach into the Ulatharid's mind, and as you kind of command it to flee, there's a surge of psychic energy which seems to fly into the Ulatharid's head, and you feel its mind just kind of implode in on itself. In the real world, you watch as the Ulatharid kind of slumps. It's like an oozy liquid starts trickling out from under its tentacles and down its robe. And as this Ulatharid slumps to the ground, you hear a voice, Katya, that says, "Well done."
Uh-oh.
Who be that?
Go on, Carl.
She shakes it off and looks at the dead Ulatharid, and she's like, "That's for denying me my vengeance."
There's another kind of deep, sonorous laugh that echoes out, but as you look around, you notice that the Warhounds and everyone gathered looks and notices as well as the shadows kind of disperse and fly away into the skies above. And this laugh echoes out and out and out. As you kind of pick everyone up and look out of the tower, you can see what looks to be the royal court of Suzail, but wrong. Katya, as you look, you see that there's a glowing, a pinkish light that's beginning to glow brighter and brighter from what you would assume to be the throne room. Like what looks to be, geographically, the throne room. The light grows larger and larger, and you feel this intense psychic energy erupt out of the roof of the royal court up into the sky and through the portal, through the rift in the sky into Suzail. And
no, we can't finish with a sky beam.
And as this light dissipates across Suzail, and the laugh, the sonorous reverberating laugh, continues on and on and on, as you hear the screams of panic begin to emerge from Suzail and trickle down from the skies above. And as you look across this blasted, shadowy wasteland, we'll call it there.
Very good, awesome.
Yeah.
Very good fight.
I didn't enjoy it at all.
That was tough, man.
It was great. It was great.
Congratulations, everyone, on completing session 39.
Ooh.
So, Warhounds and friends are in the Shadowfell, and ahead of you, you can see a dark reflection of the palace and court of Suzail, and something bad has just happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got the whole Mass Effect crew here. Good.
Yeah.
We do indeed. So, yes, we'll see what happens with the Warhounds and friends next time. So, yeah, thank you all for playing.
Pleasure.
Thank you all for watching.
Pleasure.
And yes, if you like what we do here, then be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. If you really like what we do, we have loads and loads of videos that we upload very, very regularly, and we also have a podcast, which is great, and we talk about things related to RPGs and tabletop RPGs, and so you should check that out as well. If you like all of what we're doing, make sure to hit the subscribe button. That really, really helps us out, and as I say, we do upload stuff very, very frequently. So, with all that said, once again, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. I will see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
With the threats to Suzail far from abated, the Warhounds have reunited in a world of darkness and gloom. Under the watchful gaze of countless mind flayers, and with Balthazar's mind broken, what will the Warhounds do next? Come back next time to find out. Thank you all for watching to the end of the video. As always, we truly appreciate your support and time. As we move into the final episodes of the campaign, I hope you're ready for what's to come. If you like this episode, make sure to like and comment down below. If you want to watch another video, you can find one right here. Subscribe by clicking here to stay up to date with our releases. We upload new videos to the channel every week, and subscribing really helps us out. So, with that said, thank you once again. Stay safe, and as always, may the realms endure.